Mitrecha Chovroin isteach go tiomh. Ar nos an ceann seo, he Louisa Doyle, wife of a man who was executed, Dublin, Ireland. Hannig siad ó I bhfad is I géin, ó dhaoine éonar agus ó aigrechtaí ar fud na hÉireann leis. Cheol Maher Kevin Barry sra telegram chuig Gaeilge an Cheshire leis an teachtracht dúshlánach seo. Sympathy and congratulations. Tróna lácrochta an Cheshire, gá Thomas Traynor, níomlí na tríochaige, an chéba hinne den Deichniúr. Bas an tolach chun de ceatharlacht a Traynor. Hannig sé go blad lia go hóg, áitiú bhúil sé le na bhain chéalaí Elizabeth. Ba gréisi é Thomas, le siopa I Merchant's Arch.
He was very committed, I believe, to the cause. It's been said that the principles, by which he lived were God first, Ireland second, family third.
He was a great father. He was into his children in a big way, and they thought the world of him. And unfortunately, from the time he was executed, they really missed him, and they had a hard time coming to terms with, what happened to him.
Ba óglach gníomhach é Thomas an óige. Bhí sé Molan's Mills le debaléire in éirí amach na cásca. Curú prísún Samratan ach scuilú sire an bhíon dar gion. Ní rá Thomas chó gníomhach as sin amach. Bhí cuaram Deichniúr tine
During a skirmish in Dublin, one of the IRA activists was on the run, being chased by the Tans in the city, and running past Tom's shop, he threw a gun into him and asked him to hide it. The following evening then was returning it to the IRA headquarters in Brunswick Street, and it was while he was there the auxiliaries raided the premises, and he was subsequently arrested there and then and taken off to Mountjoy jail.
Taréis go bhála caiithú go donna le Traynor sa Gusláán ag an aigógang. Curú dúnmhara bhaine le ag ascar as an líochán. Phléadála abhcóide nólan Whelan gur príosúnach cogaithe.
The alternative defense I was putting up was that it was a conflict between the forces of the British Army and the forces of the Irish Republican Army. The accused then is a prisoner of war, and as such a charge of murder does not lie against him.
This man was a member of a rebel gang, a civilian in plain clothes who could be turned in one moment from that civilian status to a most dangerous member of society whom it is the duty of the Crown Forces to contend with and put down.
Díreú Traynor chun báis. Níor moladh trócaire dó, cé go raibh sé bean agus Deichniúr páiste na dhíth. Ar cúige lá fiche d'Aibreán, seoladh Traynor chun na síríochta.
'Twas early one Monday morn, as the small birds sang in the flush of dawn. On a Monday morning on the gallows high, brave Thomas Traynor was led forth to die. Somebody came out and pinned a notice in the prison gates to say that Thomas Traynor had been executed at 8 o'clock that morning. Everybody turned to their rosary and, prayed for him.
Taréis tríal Traynor, thóg an taire Gíal, an cigar a dúthaí Gilbert Pwari an taire an Pólín. Caiiciis ní sin, fuair ben patar pucáiste sa bust, den na gcomhléidí persanta agus a litir dhearannach hickey. Thar ceann bhean Traynor, dír Michael Noig go scaoil fia chorp a chláán, dúiltíocht dó. Curú gré na caracrach é, tíomh leis an Cheshire.
To have been left like that, with a family of 10 children must have been so impossible at the time. It's hard to understand. It had a very bad effect on the children themselves. Some of them became quite bitter, and as soon as they were able to, they left Ireland altogether.
To have somebody taken from you and not being given access to their grave, that was very hard to take. And I'm sure it did have a terrible effect on the family.
Rin Traynor killing the Sean McCone, Aradri agus Kirtz le bheith. Dinigin dram a ríriorthú tá sí déanna Traynor. Dinigin dram a dúiltaí. An seachtú láide bhí an bheitheh ní déag fiche héin, curú beirt as chun dí limní chun báis, dá báirt I bhúscailt óglaí as tréin ag stáisiún Chorclinge, agus é ar a bhealach go príosún Corcaigh.
From out a guarded carriage amid panic-stricken throng, John Hogan, he was rescued at the station of Knocklong.
Gá Seán O'Hogan 7 sa gantar cúpla lá ribh. Duine an cheatar a ghlach páirt in achtraí solachód beag a chuir tús le cogan na saoirse. Cin Dan Bryan agus Seán O'Tracy go scuilfí O'Hogan ag stáisiún Chorclinge an 13 bealtaine 19. Hanig cúigar óglach ó chachlan an Ailtí chun cabhraithe lofa, Edmond Foley in a mask. Ar raithinn stáisiún Chorclinge don tréin, bhí O'Hogan á ghardal ag ceatar Pólín. Bris grusla amach idir óglaí agus Pólíní, Mariach an constable Inright agus an ládar Gion. Ní rá sé an, ach thug sé ráite stómh ar ball. An sin bhfuileis teip brití ar a chuméid. Bas don trí léig in Alwaile do Foley, mac fedimóra, ceir blion fiche aige, ar a gáú agus nuair a cúiseach é.
He was the first to join the volunteers around Galbally. He was a lookout man on the rescue of Knocklong. He was tall, good-looking, great personality, and an eye for the women.
Edmond Foley was my godfather, and the rescue in Knocklong took place on the 13th of May, and I was born on the 24th of May 1919, and I had to be taken through the fields to be baptised because Ned Foley was on the run. He came back in September. He was found at home and he was arrested. In fact, my husband could remember the black and tan surrounding the house.
Tógu Foley Moran le firáitiúil le eile go príosún Nimlí, Patrick Maher in a mask. Bas glán leara a fedi in Uchaí Chorclinge é tríocha bliain díos nar a gáha. Bhí cónaí ar linn a bháthair agus a leasclán trár agus trifúr. Ní raibh óglach rógníomhach é, cé gur báil den chumplacht áitiúil a bhí an.
At the time of the rescue, he was working in Knocklong. He was working as a clerk in the egg depot in Knocklong, just mainly checking eggs and poultry and putting them on trains. Paddy was a very quiet, unassuming man. He had a great love for his family, for his mother especially, and for the part of the country he was from, and for his country itself.
He wasn't nor near the place when that particular thing happened. Although he worked in Knocklong that day, but he was gone home. He was going home at 6 o'clock from Knocklong, and he called into the local pub up the road called Mull's Pub.
He went to work the next day, and for a few months everything went on then as normal for him. In September 1919, there was a raid in the area. Patrick Maher was one of the people captured in the raid, and he was taken to Limerick Barracks.
War cuimhne a grár Tom Quindon ar an oíche a gáú Paddy.
So Paddy Maher the lot to him. He was playing cards with both the masters. He was a terrible man for cards. So it was after 12 o'clock, and he came down. This happened. This is no fable at all. But this old woman, they used to have black clothes on. She appeared alongside him, and she walked alongside him the whole way till she came to the ditch going out into his own house. And he went down the room to his mother and he said, "Mother, there are some terrible troubles to see in front of me here. You're not at all if you go away to bed to see, you'll be all right." So he went in bed 20 minutes when the whole house was surrounded with the tans, and he was taken and he was never seen after that.
Chaith Foley agus Maher beag nach gá bliain í bríosún. Tríálach faoi ggóiad I limnach, beasíontí na dúréine. Dinú iirechtaí eile méil feriste agus hardwacha. Fuiarú eisteach an bheirt go bla lia. Bhí an Restoration of Order Act in issue bhaim, agus socraíoch go gurfaí Foley agus Maher faoi thuairtearm. Ní a bhéon chumpóir dómh gur 8 eile crochtaí faoi nacht céannaí.
They tried them by court martial.